Alright guys, how you doing? It's Rabea, hope you're all good. So if you've been watching my channel recently, a video came out not so long ago called Pedalboard Chop and Change, title being something like Random Pedalboard Setups #1. Well, we're going to continue with that because I had a lot of fun and it seemed you guys enjoyed watching that video too. Basic premise is that I've been reviewing gear, especially pedals, for quite a long time now, and I've obviously got quite a big collection of pedals, and never really considered the fact that if we just mix them together, rather than you seeing these isolated demos of the pedal itself, why not just bung a load of them together and see what kind of tones we can get. So every time I film one of these videos, the idea is that I just go and pick out a bunch of pedals at random. Obviously there's a little bit of thought behind it in terms of the kind of tones that I want to try and achieve, but overall the general gist is to get like a bit of a fuzz, a bit of an overdrive of some description, bit of a like a EQ shifting type utility pedal like a treble boost or something like the Wamp and the Una, or you know, whatever else. You know, reverb and delay, octave, all that kind of stuff. So I've built a board, as you can see on the close-up here. Basically what I'm trying to do is meld together a bunch of different style pedals and see if we can get a nice variation of tone out of it, especially considering some of these pedals I only really reviewed the one time and then put it away and haven't used it since, so it's quite nice to rediscover some of these. Guitar goes into the pedal board top right, and the first thing we're going to hit is the Warpig treble boost, which is an entirely vintage component treble boost made by Black Cat Vintage Effects, a company that I was turned on to by Nolly, and he'd been using one of these in front of his twin sister and all sorts of other amplification devices, and actually really enjoyed the way it sounded. So he put me in touch with them, and they were kind enough to send one out for me to try. It's very simple. You literally have a three-way toggle switch just to the left of that main knob, which gives you different amounts of bass. So in the middle it's the least, move it up one it's sort of second, and then the third stage at the bottom. And you've also got a general overall boost knob there, so it's quite nice. It thickens things up, and it definitely sounds old school, albeit a little bit noisy. After that we go into the Boss OC5, which is a great octave pedal. Okay, so after that we go into the Strymon Sunset, which is like a two-stage kind of overdrive in the sense that you can cascade one into the other. The B-Tronic Swarm. Now the B-Tronic Swarm basically takes over in terms of, I put it on the board because it's a character pedal. So I've put it on there for style, for characteristic, for like if you were going to come up with some cool riffs and effects and stuff, you could totally use the Swarm as a good alternative for that stuff. After that we move to the Kangra by Walrus Audio. Now the cool thing with this is you've got a filter, like an envelope filter, like either automatically or you can spit it out into an expression pedal, and it also has a fuzz, which is actually a really neat sounding fuzz. And then the last thing going in front of the amp is the Rev Gate, or G8, and that was sent over recently by the guys at Rev to try out, and I'm really not a user of gates at all, either heavy or whatever, like I just don't use them. But I figured with this, because these pedals might be a little bit noisy, it might be nice to have that there. And finally in the effects loop we've got the ARP87 from Walrus Audio and the Hydra reverb pedal from Keeley Electronics, both of which are fantastic pedals. Got all sorts of cool programmable features and presets and the rest of it, but they're just in the loop of the Friedman Twin Sister, which is the amp of choice today. Other than that, we're going to be using a Fender Strat, got a Gibson Les Paul and my Chapman Sig, so we can try out all sorts of different tones. But without further ado, let's get stuck into this pedal board. Okay, let's begin with the Strat. Always goes to Strat first for these kind of pedal board rigs. It's tuned to E flat, but this is how it sounds. So that's how the guitar sounds straight into the Friedman Twin Sister. It's on gain structure 1. So let's begin with the Warpig. Now, as I said, it's a little bit noisy, but that's why we've got the noise gate. So without and with. So now we've got the noise gate on. So had a little bit of, well actually, let me just show you what it sounds like on its own first. I love the way it warms it up. So I love that. I think it's really good, and I think it's just something that comes with the territory of using vintage components and stuff like that. But there's a little bit of noise. It doesn't bother me too much. In any case, let's throw on a bit of the reverb. Now I've got this set to like a plate, long plate. Sounds really nice. So I love that. Now let's throw on the ARP87 as well. We can tweak that a bit. Let's tweak that a bit. I like that. I mean, that's a lot of reverb and delay, but you know me, I like a lot of that. So yeah, that's kind of what the Warpig does. And the cool thing is that it sounds great on its own, but even when you stack it with other stuff, it'll sort of bring out a bit of the mids, really, I suppose. It just makes it more intense. But you know, I think live it wouldn't necessarily be so much of an issue with the amount of noise going on, and it's the kind of thing that you kick in to make it more intense. In the studio, I've just noticed that it's a little bit noisy, but it doesn't really matter, especially not with the noise gate. But in any case, that was the Warpig, so let's get rid of that. And you've heard the reverb and delay. So next up, give you the octave real quick, because why not? So that's the OC5. Now, see what happens when we throw the Warpig onto that. So yeah, I'm digging it. I really quite like that Warpig. In any case, that's what the octave does. Now on to the Strymon Sunset. Now the way I've got this set up is that I'm using the germanium side as side A, and then I'm using the, I think I'm using the J FET on side B. So let me show you. This is with nothing. Here comes the germanium side. So that's a really nice tone, especially for lead, but it's kind of lost a little bit of that low-end resonance that comes without the pedal engaged. So this is, again, just to show you. And then it just seems very mid-forward, so I'm using the J FET there to thicken it up now. Here we go. That's great. Bit more up. So yeah, I can't help myself with that octave pedal. When you throw it on there, you just want to play like fat riffs, but it's great. Sunset sounds wicked. So we've heard everything so far. It's kind of giving us a, you know, a clean and a crunch, and then a sort of leady sound with some nice ambience and stuff. Now we get into the more interesting, or should I say tonally weird stuff. So now we've moved on to the Swarm from Beatronics. Again, I've done a demo of this. This thing is completely mental as a pedal. Really, I have no idea what the technology is to make it do what it does, but I've taken my time to try and dial in a sound that would work alongside the other stuff, and then I'm going to mess with it to make it do the weird stuff. So this is without. And here it comes. Okay, so I got a little carried away. Let's go back to the pedal. So you can hear, like, sorry for the playing, you can hear how it's kind of doing an octave thing, and that's just so I've set it to be kind of usable, where it's tracking well and doing. So let's mess with it. It punished me for playing the wrong note. So you get the idea. It completely takes over, and it's really cool. And I think that's the kind of pedal that, you know, in the right song, in the right moment, middle of the set or whatever, you want to get a bit weird, it would have its place. Okay, so now we're on to the Kangra from Walrus. And the cool thing with this, as I said before, is you can set it up like your classic envelope filter kind of vibe, Qtron or whatever. So check it out. So I love that you can use it like an auto wah, and of course you can plug your expression into that and control that, but also it's got a fuzz on it, so, and a really cool one at that. Now you can have the wah in there as well, or the envelope filter. All right, and then let's throw on some sunset. Oh, oh. Okay, that was a little bit out of control, but still lots of fun. So again, with this board, as weird as it can go, it can also be more traditional voicings, you know, like with the reverb delay and just amp tone, you've got the... And, you know, we can take the sunset into a more traditional context. So let's just have a look here. We'll do treble, drop the drive. So obviously this is a Strat rig in my opinion, but I thought I'll just plug the Les Paul in for the sake of it, just to see how it sounds. So it's in drop C as well. So I'm going to try the Warpig first. Sounds pretty cool. That was fun. Okay, so that pretty much wraps us up. We've heard all the tones, we've tried a couple of different guitars, and, you know, I think this board's really cool. It's definitely got a lot of character. Made me want to play loads more riffs than sort of just play leady stuff all the time, which I like. Yeah, what do you guys think of this particular board? I like the way the Swarm does its thing. I would say that, you know, with a pedal like that, it pretty much is going to take over whatever you do. I really love the sound of the Warpig, albeit a little noisy. I think it does a really great job of that kind of warm, vintagey kind of push thing. Sounded great with both guitars. Overall, I really like it. I think the Kangra is a little hidden gem in there with the fuzz. Really fun to play. It felt very good. And yeah, I enjoyed it. I think something like the Strymon Sunset along all this kind of stuff is similar to the Swarm in the sense that, like, it kind of takes over the tone. Like the Sunset sounds like the Sunset no matter what you put it in front of, in a way, if you ask me. But that's no bad thing. I just think that sometimes it's worth putting something on there like that, because let's say you're just doing a gig and you've just got your pedalboard guitar you can rely on something like the Sunset, no matter what amp you put it in front of, to just kind of hold its own and help you out. But there you go, that's pretty much it. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like, subscribe and share if you like this content, and of course hit the bell notification for more content. Going to be loads of cool stuff like this and all the rest of it, so go check out the channel, see what you think. In any case, I've been Rabea, and I'll see you all very soon.